Now, I am not the type to be like, oh, I'm a prophet and I'm gonna prophesize that this gonna happen. Nah, I ain't that type, okay? And frankly, I don't care whether or not people listen, because already I know that this is for those with the ears to hear, the heart to receive, and the eyes to see. Now, I'm sitting here watching Selah Shalom. Now, I really like this guy. I like his style. And he's bringing a lot of knowledge. He's a willing vessel for the Spirit of truth to give us higher knowledge, okay? Now, the name of the video is Real Picture of a UFO and Real Picture of the Spirit of a Black Woman, Spaceship Vehicles for Angels. Now, it's just like a chill and relax. You know, it's a vibes live, you know, with Selah Shalom. And it's awesome. I love it. You know? Anyway, so he just read out of the Wasfi, okay, describing a ship descending from the firmament, okay, and from the seas above, okay. It talks about the seas of fire, you know, the waters above the earth, okay. The angels have vehicles, okay. These are what you would call UFOs, you know, because it's an unexplained, unidentified flying object, and you don't know what the hell it is. Now, granted, the government has been back engineering these vehicles, okay, for their own sinister purposes, all right, at the enticing of evil spirits, demons, fallen angels, okay, the wicked ones. So that does not mean that the Father doesn't have his. Now, we know that the second Exodus is yet to come. Now, they have been programming humanity hardcore about this rapture, the Christian doctrine, you know, this rapture, you know, people just automatically disappearing out of their clothes, you know, being left behind and all of this, right? Bruh, I don't know. It just hit me like a revelation, you know, like, and I felt it, you know, like, how you feel like this tingling sensation, like, as this revelation hits you, that, bruh, you know how the scripture declares, like, men's hearts failing them for things that are coming upon the earth, right? Now, you know, if you happen to wake up one day, okay, or whatever, you know, just sometime during the day, whenever you're just doing your thing, then all of a sudden, this gigantic ship, this gigantic UFO, like twice the size of our moon, because that's what was just described in this book, okay? The ship was crystal in a globe of phosphorescent light. Alright? It talks about the outer shell of this ship being dark and being reflective of the phosphorescent light, which makes it glow. And the glow is coming from the ship itself and the angelic host within. Like, bruh, like, what if that is tied and connected to the second Exodus, to where, like, as the brother was breaking down, like, bro, what if this ship literally, what if this humongous ship descends, like several of them, you know, all over the place, because the scripture does talk about, like, the gathering of his people from all over the earth, all right, from all over the earth before total destruction, because we know that Nibiru, you know, whatever people want to call it, you know, the destroyer, you know, that fearful constellation, they took it out, you know, they didn't want you to read in Ezra's, they didn't want you to read, I forget exactly where it's located, I think it's 2 second Ezra's, something, but it talks about the fearful constellation, okay? The Nibiru, whatever you want to call it, the destroyer, okay? It's coming. And then Wisdom of Solomon talks about how people are going to be amazed at the ones that are being saved. They're completely astounded at the strangeness of his salvation. So far from what they had thought in their mind, you know. It was so far from what they had imagined. Because Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins put in your mind that it's all about white people, pretty much. I mean, yeah, they gave a black pastor, a black pastor in their mind. You know, he's a black pastor. All right, he's black. He's African American. Okay, now I'm not even trying to go down this path, but man, there's so much deception upon this earth, literally blinding you, and this it's deceived you, and has blocked out the truth. Okay, you cannot see the truth for the many lies that are blocking you from it, and you're not wanting to break through that deception, because you can come out of the deception if you only give ear and heed to the things that resonate within your spirit, is within you. The things that I am telling you via the Spirit of truth is within you. You already know a lot of these things because you were with the Father before your spirit came to the earth. We were spirit beings before we came into mortality. So anyway, what if the second Exodus and what the scripture talks about and describes so beautifully on how the whole world is going to see it, the whole world is going to know who the true chosen people are, the whole world is going to know, like, you know, and I don't know if it really, I mean, it does in a way, does have something to do with skin color. You know, let's just be real, but we come in all shades of the earth, you know, all shades of the dirt, you know, from the palest of us to the freaking darkest of us, you know. I'm not trying to like put any division or contention, because ultimately the Father wants all to come to salvation, you know, and that's even stated in the so-called Holy Bible, you know. But people want to choose who they want to hate, you know. They want to hate on certain people. But the eternal law says to love, you know, love the Most High thy power with all thy heart and soul and body. And if you love him like that, then you're going to love your neighbor as you do yourself. And if you love your neighbor, including all of creation, the way that you do yourself, you would treat them the way that you want to be treated, because that's the way you love yourself, you know, like, that's the way that you will love others. It's not complicated. It's very simple, you know. But people seem to not be able to grasp this very simple matter. You know, they want to feast on death and bloodshed. You know, they think this is normal. You know, they don't think that they're vampires and freaking... They're not carnivores. They want to call themselves carnivores, but they're not carnivores, bro. You're a freaking cannibal. You know, like, Quit with you deluding yourself. You do not have carnivore teeth, okay? You literally have herbivore teeth. Human beings have herbivore teeth. More like what is it? Is fruitivore, okay? To be technical, to be 100% freaking technical, we are frugivores, okay? We are fruitivores. We are fruitarians, okay? We are to eat the fruits and nuts and grains of the earth, all right? That is what our teeth are designed for. We are not carnivores, okay? Carnivores is like cats, you know, your cat family, you know, okay? But bruh, we are frugivores, all right? So you are not a carnivore, you're a cannibal because you're feasting upon flesh and blood. You have flesh and blood, and so do the animals, okay? We all have organs, all right? We're all born upon the earth, okay? That makes us brothers and sisters, whether you want to come to that realization or not. All living beings upon the earth have the breath of the Most High. And when you are stone-hearted against certain beings having their breath snuffed out mercilessly so that you can feast on his corpse, bruh, how can you say that you serve the living power? Because the living power never gave that creature to you as a food source. So you're following a false god. And you don't want to break up out of that delusion because you're comfortable in that lie. And then people like me, we see things for what they are, and we're heavily ostracized and pushed aside as if we're crazy. But you're complacent with all the many things that you've been taught to believe. And you've never questioned these things because it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable to come to the realization that you've been taught lies by those you trusted. But I'm sorry to be the one to break that deception, you know, like at least try to shatter that strong delusion for you, you know, at least crack the glass a little bit, you know, so that you can start to see through it, so some light can begin to freaking sparkle through, you know. I'm not trying to act like I'm all prideful or arrogant. This is not my knowledge, okay? This came from the Most High Almighty. This don't come from me, okay? I'm just a willing vessel. But the Father gave me the eyes to see early on in life. And so things never made sense to me. I never did good in school. I never did good in school. You know, I brought home D's and F's. You know, every now and then I get a C. You know, I thought I was doing good if I got D's and C's. C's and D's was good. It was a good report card for me. You know, majority of my school life, that's what I got. You know, if not F's, okay? And the only classes that I actually got an A or a B in were creative courses. You know, I think I got C's in like math, okay? And I got D's and F's. I got like D's in science and freaking F's in history. And I really feel like it was the protection of the Most High on why I couldn't my brain just could not rememberize all of this nonsense. Okay? My brain didn't work that way. I couldn't just memorize and repeat. I couldn't just regurgitate back on paper, what was crammed into my head. I was always in my own head thinking about things. I'm the creative type, okay? Oh my gosh, man. Revelations are hitting me, bro. So hard. And there's things that I can't even say because people will think that I'm being arrogant and prideful, and I'm really not. It's just that I've heeded my temple for the Spirit of the Most High, and I've been obedient. That's all it is. I mean, bro, if you choose to be obedient to the Spirit of truth, and you make the necessary changes that the Father requireth of us, because He does require righteousness, okay? Let's just put it on the table. You cannot live your life any kind of way and expect to be in tune with the Most High Almighty. It don't work that way. The only way that you can be in tune with the giver of life is to keep His law. His eternal law, not the laws of men. I do not keep the laws of men, and I can care less what people think. People can call me what they want. People can perceive whatever they want, but don't try to impose it upon me. You're not going to get me to act any kind of different than my natural personality, than who I am. I am not going to try to change my voice to sound like I'm high pitched or deeper or any of that. I'm done, trying to deepen my voice. I did that before because I was self-conscious of my voice. But now this is me, bro. This is 100% me, all right? Genuine at heart. And if people can't see that, that's their own loss, okay? Because I'm here to serve. And if you cannot receive it through a willing vessel, no matter who they are, because you got a respecter of persons about you, well, hey, bro, shalom, go your way, do your thing. I am not I'm not the type of person to try to put a hook in you and drag you. Bruh, I've been deserted my whole life, man. I had to stand on my own 2 feet my whole life. I had to depend on the Most High, my power, my whole life, bro. I ain't had nobody really in my corner. The only one that really showed a lot of love to me, more than anybody in my life, is my former girlfriend, my former lover, my former virtual wife. And she's still showing love to me, because if it was not for her, I would not have internet. I would not have had internet for the past several months, okay? She's been taking care of that for me. And I never asked her to do that. The Father gives me favor, with certain people. And He's definitely given me favor with her. And she's helped me more than anybody, bro. So, on that note, I'm not trying to stay on here. I just had some thoughts that I wanted to record for my own records, and for those that with the ears to hear, the heart to receive, and the eyes to see. On that note, shalom.